So today's review is going to be a little different than normal. This is one of the most artistic and poetic exotics Bungie has ever made. And even though we don't normally get this deep on this channel, Precious Scars is such an interesting exotic. First up, it comes with the exotic perk Kintsugi. After reviving or being revived, you gain an aura that provides overshields to you and nearby allies. Very interesting that that trait actually allows you to take advantage of your own death, or you revive someone from their death. You see, Kintsugi is actually an Eastern philosophy, essentially glorifying the scars, thus the outline of gold that's filling in the cracks. You see, instead of actually taking what appears to be a vase on my head, which definitely looks like that, but it's a helmet, instead of just taking a helmet, repairing it in a way that looks like it never took damage or never actually broke, but instead precious metal was utilized to showcase that yes, at one time this helmet did break, but the scars on this helmet are precious. Extremely artistic, and something of which I knew nothing about. And 9 times out of 10, we read exotic perks and we think the depth doesn't go anywhere outside of a video game. But as you see here, it's perfect. Now, Kintsugi, is this an exotic perk worth utilizing on your fire team? It kind of reminds me of Crest of Alpha Lupi, right? Essentially, back in Destiny 1, its perk stated that you could revive fallen teammates faster, and they can also revive you faster. Now, it also had a secondary benefit in which your super would spawn additional orbs, but for the most part, Crest was not an exotic you would wear full time. You would simply have it in your inventory to swap to. The way I would treat Precious Scars would probably be the exact same way. If I go down, I have it in my inventory to quickly swap to, and simultaneously, if a teammate goes down, I might want to quick swap to Precious Scars before getting the revive on them, because it's definitely worth it. You see, upon getting the res, you'll notice a few things right here. Number 1, you get your normal res shield, but simultaneously, you also get a shielding aura. Now, this aura stretches around you for up to 12 meters, meaning any of your teammates that are in proximity of you will gain an overshield. So this is not something that just benefits yourself. This benefits the entire team. What's even more interesting, that shielding aura actually lasts about 10 seconds or close to it. And as long as you, the Titan, who's wearing the Precious Scars exotic, doesn't lose the overshield, that aura around you will continue to give health regeneration, aka overshield, to your teammates. Now, the moment that duration goes out, the overshield, it's gone. And from my knowledge, through lots and lots of testing, there is no way to extend that duration. Say, for instance, I get a res, I'm one teammate, I proc Kintsugi, I'm shielding an ally, and then I get a second res, that does not refresh the timer. I also tried a few other things that could possibly refresh this. Things like sitting in a bubble. Perhaps if we stayed in a bubble, the shielding allies perk still stays with us, thus allowing for people to still retain their overshields. No, I even took advantage of Top Tree Sentinel, utilizing my defensive strike melee, thinking that if I refresh my own overshield, that this too might actually refresh Kintsugi. It doesn't. Bungie's done their due diligence here. Of all the exotics that could have been broken, this one's actually bug-free, at least for now. Now, how much damage can you tank with Precious Scars? It's almost 100 health, maybe just slightly less than 100 health that you get upon getting a res, or when you yourself get revived. Now, this is not enough health to actually tank a sniper rifle headshot from a 90 round per minute sniper, aka a door. But sniper rifles in that rapid fire archetype, 140s, you can actually tank a headshot directly with high resilience. And this is extremely beneficial with a number of other different weapons. Say you're getting the res and you got someone pushing you with a shotgun, they can 100% still kill you, but they have to land all their pellets, or just about. So is this an exotic that you want to have in your inventory? Well, I definitely think it should be an exotic that you have ready to swap with. And we already have a number of striker titans out there that love to swap over to Eternal Warrior before actually using their super so they get an overshield. This is the exact same thing. And considering so many titan helmets are so good, think about One Eye Mask, Eternal Warrior, you can literally just swap between all 3 of these, depending on the situation. Main One Eye Mask, if you die, swap to Precious Scars so that when your teammate gets you up, you now have 100 health overshield for 10 seconds nearly. And before you use your super, swap to Eternal Warrior. Is it toxic? Yes, but this is the reality of not having locked loadouts. Where Precious Scars actually might have some room to shine is in contest mode day 1 raids. Dying is just a reality on day 1 raids. It's hard content. And even though dying is never optimal and And you definitely don't want to die intentionally, even though just about all the clips you see in today's video is us pretty much killing ourselves with ricochet round weapons. This was due to us just testing out precious scars. Normally, there is no advantage to actually dying. So I would not necessarily say you should go into an encounter with the intention of throwing just to take advantage of precious scars. It's just one of those exotics that, man, is it nice to distribute that health bump to all of your teammates, thus making the res much more secure. And that was another thing that was throwing opponents off, especially in Elim, myself included. When I see someone getting ready to get a res, I'm like, oh yeah, time to farm, baby. But not with this helmet. You don't want to let them get the res because they could easily turn on you. Everyone on that team rocking an extra 100 health, that's 300 more health you got to deal with. Needless to say, this is going to be an exotic that will be annoying. It isn't yet because Trials is still on hold until the 27th, but believe me, when Trials comes back, this will be an exotic that you're going to see a lot of people have on the ready to swap to. And when they do, you're going to hear about it in everyone's streams. They're going to be like, oh my God, these tryhards just swapped to precious scars. And rightfully so. In no way is this an S tier exotic, as it requires such a specific thing to occur, but I give this exotic extremely high ratings just due to its look and also its Kintsugi philosophy. So big shout out to whoever at Bungie designed this thing. Extremely artistic, and I very much enjoy playing with this. So just to recap on how to utilize this exotic, because this is extremely important for the Titan user that is actually wearing the Precious Scars helmet. When you get the res, you are the focal point, meaning your teammates will all get an overshield as long as they are within that 12-meter proximity, and you yourself still have the overshield. Matter of fact, their overshields will continually keep regenerating as long as you retain your overshield in that 10-second duration. Of course, outside of the 10 seconds, everyone loses that overshield. There are ways around this, like just chilling in a bubble for those 10 seconds. Your teammates can run in and out of that bubble. As long as they're within 12 meters, they can have constant recuperating overshields. Now, granted, why use this over Helm of Saint 14? Exactly. This is one of those exotics you just want a quick swap to for those revive scenarios. Another thing we did test, as I was really hoping it would bypass it, was the Charged with Light mod, Kindling the Flame. You see, if you're charged with light, reviving a down Guardian will give you a burst of healing. Unfortunately, that does not equate to this overshield. That's purely your health. So long story short, you're the Titan, you get revived or you get the revive yourself. You just make sure you stay inside of cover and simultaneously stay relatively close to your teammates, thus offering them that recuperating overshield for the full duration of 10 seconds. I do believe if you do get to a point, say your overshield's just about to pop and you're about to lose it, but you're only like 1 or 2 seconds into that shielding ally buff, if you are rocking something that will give you an overshield, whether that's defensive strike or maybe divine protection from Well Irradiance warlocks or even a healing rift, anything that can help you sustain that overshield for yourself, considering you're the focal point with Precious Scars, will allow you to keep that healing aura for your teammates. So guys, that is Kintsugi and Precious Scars, a very beautiful artistic exotic that I've had a lot of fun playing with. I think potentially you could see some people meme out in Trials where some folks might intentionally kill themselves in order to distribute that 100 health buff, but I think you're going to mainly see this exotic taken advantage of on the day one raid or any difficult PvE content for that matter, where teammates are going down a bunch, and of course quick swaps inside of Trials when people are trying to sneak the revives. Outside of that, most Titans will not main this exotic on the regular, which is unfortunate because I wish there was like a passive buff to go along here to kind of push us to use this exotic even more, but obviously Bungie wanted to keep it as specifically a revive exotic. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.